Pode começar. Tá valendo já? Galera, let's go. Tá ligado aí?
Ei, testando. Estão me ouvindo bem, gente? Ok. Let's go? Ok. Bonjour. Hello. Boa tarde a todos. Tudo bem com vocês? Bom, é com muita satisfação que o setor de internacionalização do IFMG Betim recebe o professor Gabriel e os intercambistas franceses Emma e Hugo, que vão falar nessa palestra sobre o projeto que eles têm desenvolvido nos últimos 3 meses aqui no campus. Mas antes de a gente ouvir eles, eu queria perguntar uma coisa para vocês. Que legal, né? A gente tem um International Event, muito legal, vamos falar de internacionalização. Mas o que mesmo é internacionalização? Eu vou falar algumas opções aqui e eu queria que vocês respondessem sim ou não. Se vocês acham que essas opções são ou não internacionalização. O pessoal do YouTube pode participar aí também no chat, tá? A Emma e o Hugo, fazendo estágio mandatório deles aqui no campus, o que a gente chama de mobilidade in, é internacionalização? Yes or no? Ok. A aluna do integrado que a gente tem, que está realizando um intercâmbio na Bélgica, por conta de uma premiação que ela recebeu na Olimpíada Multidisciplinar, o que a gente chama de mobilidade out. É internacionalização? Yes. 3 alunos do superior que fizeram um semestre acadêmico na UDCA, na Colômbia, o que a gente chama de mobilidade virtual, ocorreu durante a pandemia. Internacionalização, gente? Yes or no? Tá tranquilo? Tá fácil até agora? Então vamos ver. Palestra realizada no Planeta IFMG por alunas do integrado, que falaram sobre oportunidades gratuitas internacionais para alunos de até 18 anos. O que vocês acham? Criação do School Profile, um documento que apresenta o IFMG internacionalmente. Yes? Participação de 30 alunos em curso de empreendedorismo ofertado pelo Escritório Regional de Língua Inglesa da Embaixada dos Estados Unidos. Online. Participação em concurso de escrita, como o Cambridge Essay Contest, é internacionalização, gente? Yes? Estão em dúvida? Participação em grupos de pesquisa internacionais. Publicação em língua estrangeira. Realização de prova de proficiência linguística. Aula de língua estrangeira. E participação em evento em que se tem contato com línguas e culturas de outros países. É internacionalização, assim como o evento de hoje? Com certeza. Acertou quem disse yes para todas as opções acima. A internacionalização, ela é, na verdade, um processo. Ela é uma das áreas fins da instituição. Ela passa pelo ensino, pela extensão, pela pesquisa e pela gestão também. Como esse final de semana a gente tem clássico, né? O jogo de futebol. Então, eu vou dar um exemplo do futebol para a gente entender bem como funciona a internacionalização. É como se a Arinter, a Diretoria de Relações Internacionais do IFMG, fosse a diretoria do clube. E cada representação local, como a que eu atualmente coordeno, fosse o técnico do time de futebol. A gente vai coordenar processos, oferecer informações, oferecer ajuda, promover as ações. Mas quem joga a bola mesmo são os jogadores, não são? Então, todos nós somos esses jogadores que vão jogar. Somos todos nós que vamos internacionalizar. Não apenas o setor específico de internacionalização, porque toda a instituição, todas essas áreas base do tripé da instituição vão ter ações de internacionalização acontecendo. Então, é muito legal que a gente vai receber a Emma e o Hugo aqui hoje para falar sobre esse projeto que eles estão fazendo com o teacher Gabriel, porque esse é um exemplo perfeito de uma ação de internacionalização. Inclusive, uma ação de internacionalização que não foi promovida por um intercâmbio oficialmente criado pela escola. Um intercâmbio que aconteceu a partir de um contato do teacher Gabriel, que intermediou esse processo. Então, a partir dessa vinda, eles fizeram vários produtos muito bacanas, fizeram outras ações de internacionalização, surgiram a partir disso, como a participação nas aulas de língua estrangeira e outros eventos que eles vão contar, e assim todos internacionalizamos. Eu desejo um ótimo evento a todos, pratiquem bastante o inglês, eles vão praticar o português também, que já está excellent, parfait, e espero que vocês gostem e internacionalizem bastante. Gabriel.
Bem, gente, bom dia. Bom dia. Obrigado, Nala, pelas palavras. Antes de começar, eu acho que a fala do Hugo e da Emma, vou aproveitar que o diretor Elton está aqui, pedir para dar umas palavrinhas. Como é um evento que está acontecendo aqui no campus nosso, eu acho que é importante, e ele dá todas as portas para a gente também, ele está participando. Então, bem-vindo, Elton. Dá uma palavrinha para ele.
Tirar a máscara também aqui, Marcela. Pode, Marcela? Bom, gente, primeiramente é um prazer, né, estar recebendo aqui o Hugo e a Emma, né, através do projeto do professor Gabriel, e parabéns à professora Nara aí à frente das ações de internacionalização. Queria só contar uma experiência para vocês, né? Quando eu fiz engenharia elétrica. Eu fiz um Cefet, e na época o Cefet tinha uma parceria com a Fachhochschule da Alemanha. Então, sempre vinham estudantes da Alemanha para o Brasil desenvolver projetos de pesquisa, né? Assim como o projeto do Gabriel também, eles estão aqui desenvolvendo projetos de pesquisa, e eles estão na escola, né, manhã, tarde, noite, madrugada, né, Gabriel? Estou sabendo, até 1h da manhã estão fazendo resultados aqui, e vocês convivendo com eles, né? Às vezes, a Hugo e a Emma estão almoçando lá na cantina, no refeitório, né? Então, é aquela hora, ou jogando vôlei. Então, o momento de interação, seja oficial, eles vão ministrar curso também, né? O que o Gabriel falou também. Então, assim, é muito importante. E eu, particularmente, eu aprendi muito, não que eu saiba nome, minha nossa, como eles sabem inglês, mas o pouco que eu sei hoje, eu sei graças a esse período que eu convivi com estudantes alemães falando inglês o tempo todo, né? Contavam piada em inglês. Então, assim, vale muito mais do que, assim, não estou desmerecendo o curso de inglês, não, tá? Tá ao vivo no YouTube aqui, tá? Mas, assim, entre fazer um curso de inglês ou ficar numa imersão, agora eles estão aqui, durante meses, é muito mais resultado. Não estou mentindo sozinho, né, Nara? O contato, exatamente, é muito importante, tá? Mas bom evento a vocês, parabéns aí ao Gabriel por essa iniciativa, e a vocês, o Hugo e Emma, bem-vindos aí, né? Já receberam aí as nossas boas-vindas, né? Eles são fluentes em português. Eu até brinquei com a Emma. Nós que somos nativos, cometeram erros gravíssimos em português, então, né, é difícil mesmo, né? E nós temos a sorte de aprender o inglês e o francês com eles, né? Então, bom evento a todos. Obrigado, Gabriel, pela oportunidade, e sucesso a vocês mais uma vez, tá?
Bem, obrigado, Elton. De novo, boa tarde, gente. Boa tarde, pessoal que nos acompanha de forma remota. Eu já vou convidar o Hugo e a Emma para vir aqui na frente, por favor. Bem, a gente passou 3 longos meses, né, trabalhando e convivendo. Eles provavelmente não estão entendendo tudo que eu estou falando, né, que eu falo um pouco rápido, mas eu queria, de qualquer forma, agradecer aqui, deixar registrado, agradecer a presença deles, a confiança que eles depositaram tanto no Instituto quanto em mim, para ser orientador deles nesse projeto. Eu não vou nem delongar sobre como foi o projeto, o tempo, porque isso tudo eles vão falar. Então, vou deixar a oportunidade para vocês também se habituarem com o inglês, que eles vão fazer a apresentação em inglês, mas se tiverem dúvidas de alguma coisa durante a apresentação que eles falarem aqui e que às vezes vocês não conseguirem pegar, a gente está à disposição, eu, a professora Nara, a professora Marcela, a Vivian, o Elton, a gente está à disposição para qualquer coisa que vocês tiverem de dúvida durante a apresentação. É normal perder alguma coisinha. Se tiver dúvida, eles vão estar à disposição também para as dúvidas no final, e a gente também. Tá bom? Então, boa apresentação para vocês. Bonne présentation à vous deux. Et bon courage. Fini.
Puxa mais. Ele desce mais. Tem que ser lá embaixo. Vai rasgar a calça.
Apanhando.
Lá
Dá uma cutucada aqui. Ó.
So, hi everyone. Today we are going to present. Today we are going to present our project in Brazil. But first time we are going to present ourselves. So I'm Hugo, and I live in a little town it's close from Lyon.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I live in Ortez, which is a little city near from the Spain border.
We are in an engineering school in a big city close from Paris in mechanics and materials, and we came in Brazil from 9,000 kilometers from France to do a 3-month internship working in recycling of plastic since January to March. It's why we are in Betim.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about my parkour. So I did scientific high school and then a 2-year degree in materials, and then I get taken in an engineering school to study, as Hugo said, mechanics and materials. What I like to do during my free time is to draw. I like to listen to music and to travel. My favorite thing about living in France is that it's really easy to travel to the other country from Europe. And my favorite thing about Brazil is to eat torresmo. I also love your music. Pagode, muito bom. And the people are also very nice.
And for me, like Emma, I did a scientific high school. After I did 2 years degrees in measurements, and now we are in engineering school in mechanics and materials. During my free time, I like to play football and I love see movies. And I like to travel. Like Emma said, it's very nice to travel in Europe. My favorite thing about living in France is we are won the Brazil in final World Cup in 1980, so it's very great. And my favorite thing about Brazil is I love mandioca frita. It's very bon. And the landscape is very beautiful. Minas Gerais is a very good state, and the people are very nice and very friendly. Now let's talk about plastic.
So we are going to do an introducing course about polymer science and recycling. So let's do it.
First, the big question, what is plastic? So plastic are polymers. Polymers, it's chain of more than monomer extracted from oil. So monomer is a chemical structure, is a base chemical structure of polymer, and we can see on the table the different chemical structure of the most used plastic. Let me show you example of polyethylene. So the monomer, the base, is repeated several times to become a polymer. This is the chemical structure of the monomer. It repeats, and ethylene, the monomer, became polyethylene, the polymer. Each polymer has different setting. For example, the fusion point is different, the density, and we have see the chemical structure. With this different setting, with different plastic, we make a lot of things. For example, PET is very used to make drink bottle, and there are a lot of plastic. For example, PP is common to make food packaging, PS for packaging materials, isolation. So we can see a lot of single-use products, and it's why it creates waste for the planet.
So to create waste is a huge problem, and we can say that actually there is a poor management of the plastic waste, and it's a growing problem, as we all know. For example, if you consider all the quantity of plastic that is made in 1 year, you can make 4 times the circumference of the Earth. So it's huge. You have to know that 75% of all the plastic ever made is already waste now. And when plastic products go on waste, it took 500 years to be absorbed by the earth. So it's very, very long. What is the common type of waste?
The curtain is very common: the bottle, the bag, the plastic bag, the container, glasses, and fish net.
But how to improve the situation? First, we have to identify the materials involved.
And then know how to process them.
So first, how to recognize the different plastic materials. So if you look carefully to the plastic packaging, you can see that there is a little sign on each packaging with numbers and arrows around, and the name of the materials is always written under. That makes it easier to recognize and sort it. So now you saw it. We are gonna make, no, now you know how to recognize the different plastic materials.
Yeah. So when we say the bottle is common to PET, the fish the glasses it's PE, sorry, and the fishnet is PP or HDPE is like PE.
And now you know this, we are going to make a little practical test just to know, to check if you get it. So I need 3 or 4 volunteers to come here on the stage. Please, don't be afraid.
Okay, good.
Mais 3.
So here there is several sorting box with the 4 more common materials of waste that Hugo talk to you later. So I'm gonna ask you to take this one each, and you are gonna sort it in the right bin, okay? There is the last one here for the one who will be done. Yes, when you know, you can put it. I will wait for the other two. If you want, you can do this one now. I think you found it. Don't be afraid. If it's okay to make mistakes. Very good. Also this one. Il a vu, ouais. Okay, so we are gonna, yes. So we are gonna take it project by project. So why did you put it here? Yes, this is very good. And so he is right. This one is made from PE, and it's written here. But he took very long time to find because it's transparent. So this one is just to told you that sometimes the sign can be difficult to find. But he is very good. So this one is okay. You can. Now we are going to see this one. So your French was good because she looked under the product and she found the information. But there is a little thing that you have to pay attention, is that this project is made, in fact, of two projects, because here you have another one. And so she's right with this one is here, but the others is here. So this is something you have to pay attention. Now you can clap because she did right. She's very good. Now let's see with this one. So why did you put it in PP? Yes, it's written on the bottle. And in fact, you can see here, I know, but you're far, but it's this one that you can see here. It's the one that you can see the most easily. But in fact, it just means that just about this one. And so this is only the one that made in PP. If you look carefully on the side of the bottle, there is the true materials of the bottle. Do you see here? Yes. And can you read louder what is written here? Yes, you heard? So it's in the other one. But there is also a third one. So this one go here. So you have to get it up. And the last one, you can see that is here. So for only one bottle of Coca-Cola, you have 3 materials. So this is one thing you have to pay attention to. And what about this one? Why did you put it here? You don't know. And it's normal that you don't know because there is no sign. And this is the last thing I want to say to you. Sometimes there is projects that don't have any sign. And for this one, you can do 2 things. The first one is just not use it and put it away. Or the second idea is to try to melt it and try different temperature and check on what temperature it will melt. And that way you can identify the materials. You can clap for them because they were very good. Thank you very much. Okay. So now that we know how to identify the polymer, you have to know how to process them. But the fact is that all the plastic materials are not meltable. So we have to know which one we can transform. Lucky for us, the most of the materials we made packaging are recyclable. So we will focus only on these four kinds because these four type of materials, of plastic materials, represents the most waste you will have. And now you know that there are these four. You have to find information about them to process them. So you have to find the temperature of fusion, the melting point, you have to find the density, and to put all this information in one place, you will always know where it is to help you working on plastic. I will show you what he did, and it's very good.
So we created an Excel file with all the materials data to process easier. For example, we realize for in each materials plate of 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters with a thickness of 1 centimeters. For check data when we found in internet. So it's like this. For example, we enter the dimension of you want to mold and the materials with the different setting, and it's calculate automatically the amount of material you need to make this plate and the temperature setting to melt the plastic. For example, for this plate in PE, which represent 38 bottle cap or 19 plastic bags. With other plastics with PET for the same plate, the amount of material is bigger and which represents 5 bottles of 1.5 liters. For PP, the amount of material is in 91 gram, and which represent 31 glasses, the little glasses in plastics. And for the PS is around the same, because PP and PS is so how to make recycling pots, because we Emma show you what we melt, what we recycling. So the first time we need to recover the materials at the sorting center. After it's important to wash the plastic materials. And after we choose the color and put them in the oven between around 35 or 50 minutes. It depends if you reuse the plastic when you melt. And we need to put the melted materials in the mold and press the container molds to take the shape of the pot, the flower pot. And after 3 minutes of cool down, we take the pot out of the mold. And the last part is to machining to have a good pot with the disc machine. For example, it's a pot not using, and this is a pot finish. Is a pot finish. And we are done. A flower pot.
We made a French one, and there is a Brazilian one that is going, like, you got it.
The good thing with the process is after using, we can reuse the waste to make other pots flower, because it's easy to remelt the material. The real interest of the project is make you see waste differently.
Yes, we know that these pots are not a brilliant object that you will use every day, but the idea of our project of 3 months was to show you that we can make good things with waste. We don't want you to see waste as a bad thing that you have to throw away. The idea of the project is to make you realize that we can do very good things with plastics. And the waste is free materials that you can find everywhere. It's like in the street, in the ocean, everywhere you have this kind of materials, and you can make whatever you want with this, just having a mold and a little bit of process. So this is what really we wanted to show you. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Now we talked about all of this. Do you think that we could stop using plastic? So it's a yes for everybody. Okay. So like, could you? Yeah. So the yes are going to write the rent now. Can you? All the people that are okay with this, write the rent. Just to let me see. For the yes. And for the no now? So there is more, it's equal. Okay, so we will see. So first, before answering to the question, I want to introduce you the idea of product life cycle. Have you ever heard about this? I think it's a no. I will explain to you each kind of the cycle. So first, when you have to produce something, you have to extract the raw materials. Like if you want to make, I don't know, a desk with wood, you have first to took a tree. So this is the extraction of the materials. Then the production is when the people are shaping the raw materials to make an object. So for the desk, for example, it would be the man who cut it to make the object made with wood. Now it's the distribution. For example, if you buy your desk in a shop, it have first to go from the place where it's produced to the shop. So it's the distribution. Then you use it. So you will like write on it, and you will use it as long as the object is usable. And when the project is too old, you throw it away. So it's the end of life. You understand? It's okay? Okay. So I'm going now to do a little case study with two different bottles of Coca-Cola. The little one that you all recognize, and a bigger one, which is more like there is more Coca in it. So what do you think it has the least impact on the earth? Which one? Is the small one or the big one? The small one, okay? So everybody agreed that the small will impact less. It's okay? So now let's see. What we know. This bowl is this weight, okay? The other one is this weight. So you can only the plastic, like without Coke in it. You can see that for the third time more liquid inside, there is only 5 difference between both in grams, okay? So now, if we put them at the same scales, we can say this. Do you agree? Or do I have to explain? I will let you see it a little bit. And when it's okay, you tell me. So we all agree that if we want to drink this amount of Coke, you need one of this or three of this, okay? So if we put this in a amount of plastic per 600 millimeters, is this compared to this? Is it okay? So now let's going back on the life cycle. So for this one, if we compare this one to this one, for the acquisition of the resources, which do you think impact the most?
Repeat, please.
So, like if I want this amount of plastic or this amount of plastic, which do you think impact the most for the acquisition of resources? The first one, this one. You're right. So this is the baddest. You're good. So now for the production, which one is the baddest? This amount or this amount? For the production of this bottle 3 times or one of this only 1 time? The first. You're right. And then the same question for the distribution. What do you think? Same thing. You okay? Distribution also is the baddest for this one. And then the use. What do you think? This one is the hardest. I heard the first. Are you everybody agree with the first? Oh, I heard no. Who said no? Tell me why. Sorry? Yes, but like take the use like a time. Like the time you will last to drink this amount or this amount are the same. So, like if you take 1 day to drink, for example, 200 millimeter of Coke, this bottle will last 3 days, but the other one will last also 3 days because you will use one bottle each day. You understand? So, do you agree with me if I told you that it's the same use? Because it's the same quantity of Coke. You understand? I can, like the first time someone told me that it was a little bit tricky, but if you have any question, you can ask. So it's okay? So both are the same. And then for the end of life, which one is the baddest? Everybody agree with the first because there is, oh, sorry, there is more material here. So you have to throw away more plastic in this case than is this case, okay? So is this. So now I'm asking again, which impacts the less on the environment? The first? This one impacts less. You understand? Is it clear? Okay. So now things to remember, just to make sure that it's clear. Like I ask you a question that was, should we stop using plastic? And the answer is no. Like half of the you said, because we shouldn't stop using plastic, but we have to make all the state of the life of the plastic worth, because each of these have an impact on the environment, and more longer you will use your product, more longer it will be shared in the time. And so if you buy like something for 10 years, the impact of each step of his life will be shared on 10 years. So it will be very, very small on each days, for example. But if you drink 1 bottle of Cokes every day, that means that every day you will have the impact of this object, and the other day another one. And so it's huge. And this is why we talked about single-use product. That means a product that you will use only one time. This is the worth things. So what we should do is not stop using plastic. Instead, we should diminish the impact of plastic by using the plastic object longer. For example, stop using a single-use plastic bottle, but start using a bottle that is refillable and use as much refillable object that you can. So, how to use plastic longer? As I said, reuse as much as we can, or as we talked to you before, recycling. Because with the recycling, you skip some step, and so it's less impacting. You understand my way of reflection? Okay, I hope you like. So this is what we would like to talk to you. Like you are the future technician and engineer of this country and of this world. And so you really have to be aware of this kind of problem because you will have to you will have to make it avoid as soon as possible because there is much more waste on the earth every day. And so you are the future, and so you have to make things change. And this is why we wanted to do this presentation and this project with you, to you. I hope you liked it. And it was a pleasure to talk to you about this subject that we like.
So do you have any questions? Yes.
How can I melt plastic at my home?
You can use an oven because a usual oven goes until 250. So it's high enough to make this material and this material melt. The only thing you have to know is that you just don't use the same oven than food. Okay, don't mix both.
Thank you.
You will.
More questions?
So thank you very much for listening to us.
Bem, pessoal, a gente está com o tempinho corrido aí, que vocês têm aula agora, né? Eu só queria agradecer de novo a presença de vocês, agradecer de novo a Emma e o Hugo pela oportunidade de virem aqui desenvolver esse projeto. Lembrar vocês que esse projeto vai estar disponível para a gente, isso fica para a gente, para o IFMG. Então, a gente vai tentar dar continuidade ao projeto, trabalhar com outros materiais. Nessa vez agora, com o Hugo e a Emma, a gente trabalhou mais com o PE. Eu falo PE por causa deles, né? E a gente vai tentar trabalhar com PET, com PP, com PS também. Então, a gente vai tentar modificar os materiais para que a gente possa atingir a maior quantidade de plástico que a gente pode atingir, como vocês viram, tem diferentes tipos, e diminuir o impacto que tem esses plásticos na natureza. Como eles bem remarcaram no final, a ideia não é, por enquanto, de ter o melhor produto possível, é de que esse plástico não seja jogado fora. Então, a gente conseguiu atingir esse objetivo. Eu falei com eles que estão de parabéns nesses 3 meses que eles ficaram aí. Eles não estão entendendo nada, mas depois eles pegam um vídeo lá e dão um jeito de traduzir. mas eles trabalharam muito bem nesses 3 meses, foi um prazer trabalhar com eles, eu cresci muito também como professor e profissional trabalhando com eles, e a gente espera ter a oportunidade de receber mais franceses, mais pessoas de fora, dentro do nosso IF, que foi também grandioso para os alunos que tiveram contato com eles. Então, obrigado por participarem da apresentação de hoje. Merci beaucoup les deux. C'était bien, j'ai dit que j'ai bien grandi avec vous comme professionnel et comme professeur aussi, et que c'est bien de recevoir des gens comme vous, et qu'on espère recevoir plus de gens comme ça. Merci beaucoup à nouveau, e obrigado, gente, de novo. Obrigado, pessoal que acompanhou de longe. Obrigado, Vivi, aí, pelo apoio. E a Nara, quer dar uma palavra aqui, Nara, no final, por favor?
Thank you, Gabriel. No, I think it was perfect. Thank you very much for coming and for presenting to us all of the results of your project. And I hope you guys liked, and you also have a chance to practice English and to practice French as well, right? And that's it. We want to enhance these opportunities of internationalization, these actions, because the more we do them, the more contact, like Professor Wellington was saying, the more contact we have with foreign languages and to people from other cultures, we improve our language skills, our cultural information, and we internationalize together. So thank you very much, you guys. Congratulations on your wonderful project. Good job, everyone. We'll see you soon on our next internationalization action. Bye-bye.
Obrigado, hein? Não, pode ir lá.